When you mentioned Chris Eubank, there was a little bit of a Twitter back and forth between the two of them a couple of days ago, where Conor Benn responded to Chris Eubank's tweet by saying that he tried to, in Conor Benn's tweet, tried to blackmail him for £1 million. Can you make any comment on that? Or what that's about?
Yeah. Chris Eubank wanted to go ahead with a fight. And then at the death said, oh, by the way, you got to pay me this. So, listen, everybody, you know, sits on a high horse about this. But, yeah, that was basically the situation. He wanted to proceed with the fight, but he wanted more money.
And as you guys just heard Eddie Hearn claim that Chris Eubank Jr. wanted to blackmail Conor Benn after finding out about that recent drug test that he failed, and stated he wanted more money. And I seen the email, you know, as you guys can see the email there. And it was basically Conor Benn, like, you know, exposing Chris Eubank Jr. like, hey, well, you wanted this fight, but you tried to blackmail to get it. You know, and my counterpunch on that is, it's like, well, you put yourself in that situation, Conor, simply because of the drug test. However it got there, you're responsible for whatever goes in your body. Everyone that is a professional athlete knows that. Now, what Chris tried to do, yeah, you know, like Italians say, you know, he took a shot. He took a shot over here, right? Because he was like, look, if you're dirty, I still want this fucking fight because you being dirty versus me not getting paid, that's not fair. So guess what? You pay me more money. I think it's hilarious because it's an opportunist type situation, you know. But then you gotta ask yourself, well, why did Conor bring that up then? Versus, I guess, the shit that went on, you know, back then, you know, like if there was a situation, because there was a comment that Conor made, like, hey, yeah, I talked to him personally and he knows that I'm not about that. Obviously, that was bullshit, because if that man wanted more money, that means he knew about it and he just wanted hush money, because he was like, I'm willing to fight you with whatever the fuck you got in your system as long as I get paid. In fact, I want to get paid more, which I don't really think there's nothing wrong with that, honestly, because it's like, okay, listen, now I understand why stuff didn't really go to public that easy or that quickly. Because the first thing you should have really figured out, like, okay, well, why didn't Chris Eubank Jr. be pissed off? He wasn't pissed off at all. He still wanted to fight, because that was, what, $3 million? Dude, you know, you mean to tell me somebody else fucked up or has an issue and I gotta lose my $3 million? No, I want him to pay me $3 million, and I want another $1 million, man. I want another $1 million, right? So, you know, you could look at it how it is, or, you know, or whatever way. You know, I've never been a stickler in my life, so I think, you know, boxing is a dirty business, but in a lot of negotiations get settled, or issues get settled through money. You know, is it the most noble thing? No, but then you have to deal with the situation at hand. What are you dealing with? You're dealing with, okay, well, here's the issue. Conor has some adverse findings in his whatever, right? And we need to see how this is going to rule or whatever, right? And Chris was like, sure, I want more money. Then you're going to give me more money. And I think that's exactly what they talked about. I don't think they talked about, oh, well, me thinking you're a clean fighter and all that. No, he wanted more money from you because of what happened. And he didn't want to pay for it, or he didn't want to suffer your particular consequences because of your actions. Because it takes two to tango. But if one guy pops dirty, I think it really means, what does it really mean? That means that, hey, everyone's shit out of luck. Okay, everyone's, you know, out of the loop with it as far as the work goes. You know, they've trained, they've put in the work. He's eating cheeseburgers on the side and all this. He made his weight and all that. He did his job. So he's like, okay, if you're trying to cheat at your job, you know, in his mind, in Chris Eubank Jr.'s mind, hey, you're going to give me $1 million. And I have no objections about that at all. That's my counterpunch. You guys tell me what you think about the attempted blackmail of Conor Benn. Please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!